This is video 2, exercise continued, the perils of. It seems prolonged or excessive exercise, not just jogging, increases the risk of a terminal cardiac event considerably. High-profile cases include unfortunate deaths, such as those of Tyrone Power, who died at age 44, stricken by a massive heart attack while filming a dueling scene with George Sanders. Douglas Adams, the creator of The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, who died aged 49 in 2001 after suffering a heart attack at a gym in Santa Monica, California. Let us not forget the famous movie star Conrad Veidt, who also died of cardiac arrest aged 50 on a golf course. He was playing with his personal physician, Dr. Bergman, who pronounced him dead on the scene. Mind you, it was said at the time that Veidt would go to extreme lengths to avoid conceding a game of golf. Also, Stieg Larsson, author of The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo series, who died in 2004 at the age of 50 of a heart attack after climbing 7 flights of stairs to his office because the lift was not working. Sports stars who experienced sudden death include Olympic volleyball player Flo Hyman in 1986, former basketball Pete Maravich, 1988, college basketball star Hank Gathers, 1990, professional basketball all-star Reggie Lewis, 1993, and Olympic figure skating champion Sergei Grinkov, 1995. All died from cardiac causes. What should be realised by those considering an athletic lifestyle is that most parts of the body cannot regenerate themselves. As an example, look at that old childhood scar from a skin wound when you were playing as a child. Or, if you have been pregnant, the stretch marks common with giving birth. You will notice the tissue forming the scar is different in many ways from the surrounding tissue. In example, scars in the skin are less resistant to ultraviolet radiation, and sweat glands and hair follicles do not grow back within scar tissue. The scar tissue is formed from the same protein, collagen, as the tissue it replaces. But there any similarity ends. The fibre composition of scar tissue cross-links and is aligned in a single direction. In normal tissue, there appears a random basket weave formation of the collagen fibres. This difference in structure results in scar tissue which is inferior in terms of functional quality to the tissue it replaces. When somebody has a heart attack, the working fibres in the heart muscle are replaced by scar tissue, leading to a loss of muscular power. When exercise requires the heart to pump at maximum or near maximum capacity, obviously any scar tissue in the myocardium, the heart muscle, will limit the heart's action and possibly lead to heart failure. We are not just talking about the elderly here. Any exercise which leads to the inflammation of the heart muscle, an event which may be symptom-free and pass unnoticed by a runner, can cause scar tissue to form. It's not only heart muscle we should be aware of. What about cartilage? Cartilage is a flexible connective tissue normally associated with the joints between bones and often acts as a sort of shock absorber. Cartilage is found in the rib cage, the ear, the nose, the bronchial tubes and the intervertebral discs, knees, elbows, ankles, etc. It is not as hard and rigid as bone, but it is stiffer and less flexible than muscle. What happens when cartilage suffers trauma, whether as an immediate event or over time, such as jogging may induce, or the effects of disease? The answer is the original cartilage is usually replaced by fibrocartilage scar tissue, which means functionality is reduced and arthritis, inflammation of the joint, occurs. Osteoarthritis is the commonest form of arthritis and can affect the larger and smaller joints of the body, including the hands, wrists, back, feet, hip and knee. Osteoarthritis begins in the cartilage and eventually causing the two opposing bones to erode into each other. It is a degenerative disease and not considered curable, with the pain increasing after exercise. The disease is essentially one acquired from daily wear and tear of the joint. So the more wear and tear the joint experiences, the greater chance that osteoarthritis will occur. Pain is a common symptom in osteoarthritis and is often accompanied by other symptoms which include tissue swelling, joint stiffness and aching around the joints, and poor sleep patterns. Sufferers of advanced arthritis often find it difficult to walk any distance, and complain of muscle stiffness and loss of body flexibility. According to an article published in The Lancet on the 23rd of March 2013, Volume 381, number 9871, pp 965 to 970, osteoarthritis is the fastest increasing major health condition. The conclusion was reached after a massive effort from the Global Burden of Disease, Injuries and Risk Factors study of 2010 and constituted an unprecedented collaboration of 488 scientists from 303 institutions in 50 countries, which focused on describing the state of health around the world using a uniform method. In the United States, arthritis is the most common cause of disability in the USA. More than 20 million individuals with arthritis have severe limitations in functions on a daily basis. Absenteeism and frequent visits to the physician are common in individuals who have arthritis. Arthritis can make it very difficult for individuals to be physically active, and some soon become housebound. In the US, it is estimated that the total cost of arthritis cases is close to 100 billion, of which almost 50% is from lost earnings. Each year, arthritis results in nearly 1 million hospitalizations and close to 45 million outpatient visits to healthcare centres. In Britain, around 8 million people, that is 1 in 8 people, suffer from osteoarthritis, a most painful and debilitating condition, with 1.2 million people visiting their GP each year. This may make one wonder why medical opinion continues to uphold the links between exercise, running, the quality of life and longevity. It might even lead one to conclude the popularization of running and forms of exercising such as aerobics has coincided with arthritis as the most rapidly increasing health condition. Figures from the government agency Sport England, www.sportengland.org, published in 2016, have revealed that the number of people running regularly in the UK has jumped by 73%, from 66,000 to 2.1 million in the past decade. It is not merely jogging that lays the groundwork for osteoarthritis. According to a report produced in conjunction with the Institute of Sport and Exercise Medicine, more than half the people who take part in sport have suffered an injury such as sprained ligaments, tendon tears or broken bones. Studies have shown that half of people with common sport injuries such as an anterior cruciate ligament damage will develop osteoarthritis later in life. I'm not suggesting that all exercise is detrimental to health, but it is suggested that any exercise regime is approached with caution, and most definitely one's personal exercise limits should not be tested. Players of high-impact sports such as downhill skiing, football, rugby and tennis should be aware they are a high-risk group in terms of developing osteoarthritis in later life. As for marathons, they should be avoided at all costs. Many physicians now incorporate swimming into their exercise advice because this form of exercise, as the buoyancy of the water, helps reduce the stress on painful weight-bearing joints. As around 90% of the human body is buoyant in water, exercises bear only 10% of it. Also, the resistance associated with water is low impact compared to most land-based sports. Most gym exercises focus on strengthening a part of the body such as the legs and various muscle groups. Swimming is a more total approach to body health as it involves the whole body and allows it to stretch during exercise, something most gym exercises fail to achieve. Apart from these benefits, swimming is a more efficient way to burn off calories. Walking for half an hour burns off around 100 calories, with cycling burning off around 250 calories in the same time period. Swimming has the potential to burn off around 350 calories in 30 minutes. Another benefit is that there is less distraction in the water when compared with, say, a session at the gym or jogging down a country lane while keeping an eye out for vehicles. There seems no reliable statistics about exercises while jogging, but the experience of famous author Stephen King may be a salutary lesson. He was walk exercising on the shoulder of Main State Route 5 in Lavelle, Maine, when he was struck by a minivan. He was hurled almost 15 feet and suffered a collapsed right lung, multiple fractures of his right leg, which the physicians initially considered amputating, scalp laceration and a broken hip. The incident almost made him give up writing and retire. Another method of exercise more popular in the East than the West is Tai Chi Chuan, popularly referred to in the West as Tai Chi. Originally developed as a Chinese martial art, it has now morphed into a set of exercises designed to promote well-being and health maintenance, with particular emphasis on stress management. Suitable for elderly people who may feel awkward within a gym setting, its effectiveness as an alternative exercise regime has developed a global following amongst those who wish a low-impact alternative to jogging. Tai Chi is a gentle, non-competitive, self-paced system of physical exercise and stretching based on coordination and relaxation. Each posture flows into the next without pause, so the body is in constant state of fluid motion. The Mayo Clinic has endorsed Tai Chi as being suitable for stress reduction and a variety of other health conditions, including the reduction of anxiety and depression, with the usual provisos for people with specific medical conditions. My final message to you is, if you must exercise, take up swimming gently or Tai Chi. Throw away those $200 running shoes and invest in a dozen bottles of wine. You'll feel a lot better.